Hi, I'm Morgan from Whole Latte Love, and I'm here at the Lavazza headquarters in New York City. I'm here with Salvatore, who's the corporate trainer for Lavazza US. Salvatore, Lavazza has training centers all over the world. Can you tell us how many?
Indeed. Currently, we have over 40 training centers all throughout Europe, and we have 2 in the U.S., here in New York City being our main one, and then we have one in Chicago as well.
What's the single most common misconception people have about espresso?
That's easy. It's caffeine.
Yes.
A lot of people think that just because the espresso tastes stronger and is darker in color, it's going to have more caffeine. But technically, it actually sometimes, most of the times, has less caffeine, because how do you extract caffeine from a bean as water? When you're making an espresso, you're using a ½ ounce to an ounce of water. When you're making drip coffee, you're using anywhere from a ½ gallon to a gallon and a half, all the way up to 3 gallons of water. So the premise is that the more that the beans or the grinds sit in the water, the more that caffeine extracts. When you're having an espresso, I personally like to have a traditional espresso, which is a 1 ounce pour, as opposed to a 6 to 8, all the way up to a 12-ounce cup of coffee, where you're using that much more water. So think about it. So if you're using that much more water, you're going to have more caffeine. So that is the biggest misconception.
Why is Lavazza so passionate and committed to training?
Training to us is the core, the essence of everything. I think when you're handling coffee or even handling any kind of food, you want to basically know where the coffee or the food originates from. So for us, training is basically in a couple of parts. The first part is the origin of the coffee. Where does the coffee come from? The type of coffee, whether it be Arabica or Robusta. And then we go into the blends of coffee. As you know, Lavazza blends their coffee. We are the only espresso company that does blend. And then we go into the actual machine grinder, how to make the coffee. Everything from preparation, execution, and finally to consumption of the actual product.
Give us an idea of what a typical training center is like.
This is one here. This is our New York City Training Center. And basically what we do here is we educate operators on many different aspects of coffee. We always start with culture, coffee culture, origin, blends of the beans, and then we move on to espresso training, which is we usually use a traditional espresso machine with a traditional grinder. We also have our blue capsule system, and then we finally end with a American drip coffee class, which we talk about the origins of American coffee and drip. Very important is we go over the water to gram ratio on how to make an American drip coffee and also in espresso as well. It's very important that you have 7 grams of coffee or 14 grams of coffee to make a 1 ounce espresso, or 2 ounces to make a double shot espresso.
The first training center opened in 1989 in Torino. How has it evolved since then?
Well, like I said earlier, to date, over 20 years later, we have over 40 training centers, not just in Italy. In Italy alone, we have 8 training centers, but what happened is that other countries started getting word that we had these great training centers, and instead of having everybody go to Italy for the training centers, we decided, with help of our distributors in other countries, to open up major training centers in other countries. So if you're in Spain, if you're in France, and if you're in Germany, even in Australia, you can go to a Lavazza training center and be educated on the culture of coffee, everything, like I said, what I like to say, from bean to cup, everything that starts from the bean to the final end in the cup.
And you also have some online training as well.
We do. We have a great resources online. You can go to www.lavazza.com to get the universal website, or www.lavazza.us for the US website. And on that website, you can look at all of our training programs. It has a list of all of our training facilities. And it also shows you some of the innovative drinks that we make, because in Lavazza, Italy, the Innovation Center is basically the heart of the training center, because there we experiment with different kinds of products to make a wide range of different kinds of coffee drinks.
Salvatore, thank you so much for giving us an inside look at the training facilities. I'm Morgan from Whole Latte Love.
Whole Latte Love is your resource for everything coffee. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily updates on new coffee gear, plus hundreds of videos including how-tos, equipment reviews, recipes, expert technical advice, and more.